A small town on Iceland's southwestern coast is being evacuated as a series of powerful earthquakes suggest a volcanic system in the area that has been dormant for 800 years could erupt within hours, according to the latest news. The Icelandic Meteorological Office said 10,000 earthquakes had been recorded on the Reykjanes Peninsula since Wednesday, reaching a peak on Friday night, prompting residents of the nearby rural town of Grindavik to be evacuated. The peninsula has been hit by 24,000 earthquakes since late October, according to the International Maritime Organization. Welcome to subscribe, we update every day. On Friday night, authorities declared a state of emergency in the area and urged about 3,000 residents to evacuate their homes. Most residents have now found temporary housing. The earthquake cluster indicates that magma is moving through the Earth's crust to 3 to 4 kilometers below the surface, which if it breaks through the surface will cause a volcanic eruption. The head of Iceland's Civil Protection Agency said magma could erupt from anywhere in the 15-kilometer-long fissure near Grindavik. If magma erupts from the sea floor, it can produce dangerous amounts of ash. A professor of geology and geography at the University of Iceland said the most likely scenario is that the magma will crack the surface in an uninhabited area near Grindavik. However, he warned that the exact location and timing of the eruption cannot be predicted. The professor also said that Iceland is in a new stage of volcanic activity, and small eruptions may continue to occur in the next few decades, which may also become the new normal. The Reykjanes Peninsula is located in southwestern Iceland and is one of the most active volcanic areas in the country. From March to September 2021, the Fagradal volcano had a minor eruption here, attracting tens of thousands of tourists to watch the spectacular lava fountain. The Fagradal Mountains are about 5 kilometers wide and 25 kilometers long. The last eruption was in the 13th century. Experts say the magma channel at that time may have been preparing for a new round of volcanic activity. Grindavik is located on the west coast of the Reykjanes Peninsula and is the main fishing port in the area. In addition to fresh fish, nearby geothermal resources also support the town's economy. The town is located about 30 kilometers south of Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland, and has about 3,400 permanent residents. During the evacuation on Friday, most residents chose to drive away and go to the homes of relatives in Reykjavik and nearby towns for temporary shelter. Iceland has now entered an orange aviation alert status, which means the risk of volcanic eruptions is high. The Icelandic Meteorological Office said it will continue to monitor volcanic activity and will further raise the alert level if magma approaches the surface. Iceland is located at the junction of the fractured Eurasian and North American tectonic plates and is one of the regions with the most volcanic and geothermal activity in the world. Volcanologists say the country is likely to see more frequent volcanic eruptions in the coming decades. There have been 2 recent volcanic eruptions on the Reykjanes Peninsula in 2021 and 2022. The region is experiencing a period of increased volcanic activity, and more frequent small-scale eruptions are likely to occur in the coming decades. Iceland is located on the fault zone of the North Atlantic mid-ocean ridge and has frequent geological activities and is known as a hotspot. The country has more than 130 volcanoes, with an average volcanic eruption occurring every 5 years. However, most Icelandic volcanoes are located in sparsely populated areas far from residential areas. The last volcanic eruption that posed a significant threat to residential areas occurred in the past 9,000 years. Due to the continuous strong earthquakes in southern Iceland, the famous Blue Lagoon hot spring was closed on Thursday to ensure the safety of tourists. Blue Lake is about 20 kilometers from the epicenter of the two recent 4.7 magnitude earthquakes, and the management decided to suspend operations until the geological activity stabilizes. The Blue Lagoon is located in a lava field on the Reykjanes Peninsula. The mint blue solution in the spring pools is rich in minerals and good for the skin. It is only a 20-minute drive from the capital Reykjavik International Airport and is one of the must-visit attractions for tourists traveling to Iceland. Blue Lagoon Hot Spring stated that it has refunded tickets for the affected dates and will notify customers after it is reopened. The management authority said that this was mainly a preventive measure and that no damage has been caused to the hot springs and hotels so far. However, if seismic activity continues or escalates, it may affect facilities. Seismic activity near Grindavik is raising concerns about a volcanic eruption on the Reykjanes Peninsula. The area has a long history of volcanoes. The Reykjanes Peninsula is located in southwestern Iceland and is one of the most active volcanic areas in the country. The most recent volcanic eruption occurred in 2021 when the Fagradal Mountain, located about 20 kilometers east of the town of Grindavik, erupted for 6 months. This is also the first volcanic eruption on the Reykjanes Peninsula in 800 years. Fagradal is a volcanic system in the eastern part of the Reykjanes Peninsula, containing multiple interlocking craters. The volcano covers approximately 25 square kilometers. The 2021 Fagradal eruption is a moderate eruption with a volcanic explosive index of level 1, which mainly produces lava flows rather than volcanic ash. The eruption lasted for 6 months and attracted about 360,000 tourists to view the spectacular lava fountains. In August 2022, Fagradal volcano erupted again, but on a smaller scale. The eruption lasted about 3 weeks. The Reykjanes Peninsula is also home to many active volcanoes such as Krýsuvík, Santorini, and Kelf volcano. These volcanoes have erupted to varying degrees throughout history. The last destructive eruption in Reykjanes occurred in the 12th century from the Santorini volcano, which spewed lava that covered almost the entire peninsula. A strong earthquake currently occurring near Grindavik may indicate that another volcanic eruption is imminent. However, experts said that the time and location of the eruption cannot yet be determined. As strong earthquakes continue to occur in southern Iceland, the Icelandic Meteorological Office has launched a new radar monitoring system to detect the movement of magma near the volcano. This can provide key information for predicting volcanic eruptions. The monitoring station is installed in Vatnajökull National Park in the Kermanjökull ice cap in southern Iceland, which is the country's largest ice cap and also covers multiple active volcanic systems. The new radar uses spectrum analysis technology to detect the flow of volcanic magma, especially below the surface. The Icelandic Meteorological Office said the data will allow scientists to more accurately track the formation and movement of magma channels. Combining seismic monitoring and satellite observations, volcanic eruptions can be predicted weeks or months in advance. The radar system was developed with funding from Iceland, Italy, Norway, and other countries, as well as the European Union. System installation and commissioning were completed by the Italian National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology. This is the world's first advanced solid-state radar system for volcano observation. The Icelandic Meteorological Office stated that considering that Iceland has more than 130 active volcanoes, This system can significantly improve prediction accuracy and protect the lives and property of Icelandic residents. In recent years, the use of radar, satellite, and other monitoring methods to predict volcanic activity has become an emerging field. More accurate early warning systems have been shown to significantly reduce the potential losses of volcanic eruptions. In addition to Iceland, the United States, Japan, Indonesia, and other countries are also using and developing similar radar systems. As technology advances, we can expect volcanologists to be able to predict eruptions earlier and more accurately in the future and to develop coordinated responses. Iceland is an island country located in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean. It is located on the sea between Greenland and Norway, close to the European continent, and is part of Europe. The entire island of Iceland covers an area of about 103,000 square kilometers, of which about 10,000 square kilometers are permanently frozen glaciers, hence the name Iceland. The center of the island is a plateau area with an altitude of between 400 to 800 meters, surrounded by lowland plains. The coastal areas of the island are low and flat, while the interior is undulating mountainous plateaus. The highest mountain on the island is the Warnarfjord volcano with an altitude of 2,119 meters. Iceland straddles the mid-Atlantic magma uplift zone and is the junction of the Eurasian and North American plates. The island's base is composed of basalt, the product of magma eruptions and volcanic activity millions of years ago. Iceland is located on the fissure between two plates, and the underground magma layer is relatively active. Therefore, Iceland has frequent geological activities, and earthquakes and volcanic eruptions occur from time to time. The splint belt off the coast of Iceland connects the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and the Greenland-Iceland-Faroe Islands hotspots, making Iceland one of the most volcanically and geothermally active areas in the world. There are about 130 volcanoes on the island, about 30 of which are active volcanoes. The most famous volcanoes include Hekla, Katla, and Eyjafjallajökull. Over the past 500 years, Iceland has had an average of one volcanic eruption every year. The most recent large-scale volcanic eruption was in 2010 when the Eyjafjallajökull volcano erupted, causing serious disruption to flight crews across Europe. Iceland is not only volcanically active, but also has frequent earthquakes. Tectonic activity offshore Iceland directly leads to high-frequency earthquakes. Some major fault zones, such as the South Iceland Fault Zone, are the main source of earthquakes in Iceland. Movement on these faults will continue, as will frequent earthquakes. In May 2008, a strong earthquake with a magnitude of 6.3 occurred in southern Iceland. This earthquake was relatively destructive. It paralyzed the country's power system and also affected transportation and residents' lives. The earthquake injured 63 people in Iceland, and a mild tsunami was even detected in Japan. In addition to strong earthquakes, Iceland records hundreds of small earthquakes every day. These small but high-frequency vibrations indicate that geological activities near Iceland are very frequent, indicating that there are potential threats of huge earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Welcome to subscribe to our channel. We will update the latest news from around the world every day.